Before you begin, pause this video and put this in your notes. For this activity, you will need all three primary colors, your paintbrushes, water, and a paper towel. So color schemes are used all the time in art. And color schemes, what that means is just choosing specific color combinations to create some sort of an effect. So there are lots of different color schemes. We are going to talk about complementary colors, which are color opposites, warm colors, cool colors, monochromatic, and analogous. And these are all different types of color schemes. There are a few more color schemes, but these are the most common, and these are the ones that I would like for you to know about. So complementary colors are a pair of colors that are across from each other on the color wheel. So red and green are a complementary color pair, orange and blue are also complementary colors, and yellow and violet are complementary color pair. You can also use tertiary colors as well. So red-violet and yellow-green are a complementary color pair as well. And actually, these tertiary colors might make a more interesting complementary color pair. But for our notes, we're just going to keep it simple and stick to just primary and secondary colors. But just know you can also use tertiary colors. So anytime in art, when you place opposites next to each other, it creates energy and tends to get the viewer's attention. So if you ever want to make something pop in your artwork, just add a complementary color. I'm going to start by just adding the primary colors to my complementary color pair. So yellow, and then I'm going to leave violet, I'll mix that later, and then I'll go ahead and fill in my blue and my red, making sure, of course, that I wash my brush and dry it in between each color. So notice how there's a spot underneath your complementary color pair for the mixed. That's where we're going to mix all of your complementary colors together. So I'll mix yellow and violet and add it here. What you'll notice is when you start mixing complementary colors, they create muted colors like browns and grays. So when they're placed next to each other, they appear brighter and they create energy, but when you mix them together, they get muted, which is kind of an interesting effect. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my first complementary color pair by mixing violet. Violet is red plus blue. Now I'm going to go ahead and add yellow to my violet. So I'm mixing my two complementary colors together and add it below to that mixed box. So this should make a brown or a grayish color. Okay, so my next complementary color pair is blue and orange. I need to mix orange, which is yellow plus red. I'll go ahead and add that to the orange box. I'll then add just a little bit of blue to my orange, see what happens, and add it to the mixed box underneath. And then I'll go to my final complementary color, which is Christmas, red and green. So you'll need to mix green, which is yellow plus blue, and then add that to the green box. And of course, mix a little bit of red in with that green, see what happens, and place that in the box below. So, might be worth mentioning, if you are painting and you have the color green and it's too bright, you don't like how green it is, you can add its complement. So you would just add a little bit of red and you would have a more muted green. This is a trick that painters use all the time. Warm colors are next. Warm colors include yellow, orange, and red. So think about colors that you would associate with the sun or fire. And just like they sound, warm colors create a warm feeling in a painting. The warmest color of these three is yellow. So if we ever are painting and we want our color to feel warmer, we add yellow to that color. So if you take a look at green, which is not a typical warm color, but if you compare yellow green to regular green, the warmer green would be the yellow green. And finally, we have cool colors, which are blue, violet, and green. So these might be colors that you would use to paint something cold, like ice or snow or water. And just like they sound, they create a cool feeling in your work of art. And you can probably guess the coolest color is blue. So anytime we want our color to feel cooler, we add blue to it. So if you look at green, blue-green is cooler than regular green. All right, the last two color schemes we don't need to paint. Monochromatic is one hue with variations. So you kind of already did paint a monochromatic scale in your sketchbooks under value. Intensity and saturation could also be considered monochromatic because you're using the same hue, you're just changing it up a little bit. The second color scheme at the bottom is analogous, and analogous are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So if we look at the color wheel, orange, and red would all be analogous colors. They're neighbors. Blue, blue-green, and green are also analogous colors. So I didn't feel that it was necessary for you to paint those because you've already painted a color wheel. And that's all that you need to do for your color scheme notes. Take a look at the photograph at the end of this video to see the details of my notes and let me know if you have any questions.